Adrian Lewis bekommt es mit einem zu tun, der auch schon ein European Tour Event in den letzten Jahren gewinnen konnte, steht aktuell auf Weltranglistenplatz Nummer 21, der World Masters Champion aus dem Jahre 2004. Die Rede ist vom König, The King, Mervyn King.
All hail, bow down to the king. Bow down to the king, written red as he walked from the place where the traitor lost both his name and his face. Through the halls and the corridors, stinking in blood, he tasted his grin, and it tasted good. The king.
3 matches remaining on day 2 of the German Darts Championship. Still to come, we have the world #1 Michael van Gerwen looking, of course, to kickstart his campaign for yet another European Tour title this year against Christo Reyes. Ian White and Terry Jenkins will bring the curtain in our last match of the night, but right now we have another standout tie for you, featuring the 2-time world champion Adrian Lewis and another former European Tour champion in the shape of Mervyn King. We have seen plenty of seeded casualties already today fall by the wayside, the likes of Gerwyn Price, the likes of Stephen Bunting, Steve Beaton, Simon Whitlock, Johnny Clayton, James Wade. We could have another one here, although one caveat to add to that, Adrian Lewis will soon be a seeded player on the European Tour once again, but this weekend he's not, and on that basis Mervyn King has to be fearful. But Mervyn King has been there, seen it all before, and he's got a pretty good record against Adrian Lewis as well. 18-11 I make it in the head-to-head standings, although Lewis has won the last 4. And also, it's worth noting they haven't played each other for 2 years either. Rob Malarkey in the chair for this one, Dan Dawson back alongside me.
Yeah, can't wait for this one. Jackpot, he's been wonderful to watch over the last few months as he's battled his way back into the world's top 16, and he has his eyes set much higher than that.
First leg is Mervyn to throw first. Game on.
Merv has the advantage of throwing first. The winner of this one will face Daryl Gurney, Super Chin, the #4 seed here this weekend. Very impressive. Looking
100.
rejuvenated and refreshed after the summer break, prior to which he was looking burns out. Adrian Lewis did not hit the heights that we're used to seeing from him over the last few months when he made his return to competitive action in the first round. Saw off Tony Alcinas, but had to survive match darts in so doing. Only an 87 average. But here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
77.
Mervyn King playing with earplugs as
60.
he usually does. Might come in handy here because Adrian, massively popular all over the world. Why not? When you've done 99. What this man has done,
yeah,
the games in which he's been involved. You know, he's won on the Euro Tour, he's been a European champion, 2-time world champion, and just all-time great moments Jackpot has given us. 9 darters in the Premier League the last 2 years he was in it. Not in it this year, of course. How about this from Jackpot? Need another there for a go at double 11.
90.
Merv comes back looking at Shanghai.
Oh, where's that going, Merv? Where was that one going?
Adrian, you require 50.
Very nearly bust his score.
Tops for Lewis for the opener.
Game shot on the first leg.
Adrian Lewis is 1 leg up.
Game on.
Yeah, back up to 9th on the Pro Tour order of merit right now is Adrian Lewis, thanks, I suppose, in large to his, well, his great form overall over the past couple of months or so, or beyond that, I suppose. But there was that recent run to the semis in Denmark, and then there was a last 4 appearance in one of the Players' Championship tournaments just a few days later as well. And he's just maintaining this really good momentum. Terrific stuff on the Euro Tour this year. A finalist in Gibraltar, let's not forget as well.
Yeah, in some of the games he was in Clifton in Gibraltar were absolutely magnificent. The semi-final against Paul Nicholson was superb. His game against James Wade in Gibraltar was one for the ages.
Yeah, and that match against Sulevic in Denmark was pretty special as well. Lost it 7-6.
Yeah, he could have won it. Mensah went on to claim the title in Copenhagen, the inaugural Danish Darts Open. We'll wait and see what the Euro Tour looks like next year. I think we will be going back to Denmark. Prague will be an addition as a venue, or will be an extra tournament, we're led to believe, but nothing's been confirmed as yet.
Yeah, Lewis, profile absentee for last year's European Championship, securing £5,000 from the 3 tournaments he competed in, but he also did qualify for a further 3, only to withdraw. But he seems to have embraced the European Tour once again this year. And he just looks reinvigorated, doesn't he?
Yeah, he really does. In the top 16 on the European Tour Order of Merit, so got a real chance as Mervyn King takes out 106 to level this game up. Breaks straight back with a 12-darter. But yeah, real chance of going to the European Championship as one of the seeded players jackpot. And of course, the way the European Championship works nowadays, the sole qualification criteria is your performances on the European Tour, and that is also how they will determine the seedings. So at the minute, Michael Van Gerwen, Michael Van Gerwen is going to be the top seed. He is £100,000 clear of the number 2 spot held by Mensur Suljovic. Max Hopp is currently the number 3 seed, thanks to his historic win in Saarbrücken.
83.
Peter Wright's up there, James Wade's up there, the Ferret, Johnny Clayton, the winner in Austria, he's up there. Joe Cullen, who is yet to win a European Tour, but is so consistent on the Euro Tour in making the final session of action. He actually came here this weekend in 7th position, having won 32 grand so far on the Euro Tour, which, speaks volumes for how good he's been at winning the first couple of games he's had on the European Tour circuit.
Well, despite the fact that Adrian Lewis has had a good time of it on the European Tour this year, he was available at 28-1 in the outright betting at the start of play today. The reason being that he's in the same half of the draw as Michael Van Gerwen, so the price is somewhat deflated, I suppose. I think had he been in the opposite half, he might have been available at about 16-18-1 or something like that. But nevertheless, for an unseeded player to be the 6th favourite is another illustration of how much he is respected and feared by the bookies in particular.
180. Adrian requires 56.
Wow. Both hitting maximums in this leg. And a very important one it may prove to be for Mervyn King.
Double 8 for Merv, and double 8 is found, and King holds to lead by 2 legs to 1. Alcinas missed 3-match darts yesterday, didn't he, in that match against Adrian Lewis? I think Adrian Lewis knows that if he, I think he'll perhaps feel that he needs to try and put some daylight between himself and Mervyn King as quickly as he can. But Mervyn King is not allowing him to do that at the moment.
Yeah, but all 3 darts missed in the final leg by Tony Alcinas.
58.
He missed double top for a Shanghai finish and then came back to the board and missed double 10 and double 5. And the one at double 5, he could have had another match dart, but his dart at double 5 was abysmal. It was closer to the treble than the double. And Adrian snuck through.
Sometimes you need that, though. You need that.
Yeah, and it should be
dodging of a bullet. Yeah.
It should be pointed out that Adrian had missed a dart for a 6-4 win already by that point. So he could have wrapped it up.
140.
But he's coming under pressure on his own throw here.
134.
.180 here would be perfect for Mervyn King. Leave him on tops. What a setup shot that is. It's 180s in 3 consecutive legs for Mervyn King. The last leg, he left 50. This leg, he leaves tops. Not only is he hitting the maximums, Mervyn King, he is hitting them at ideal times.
Mervyn King.
Shot on the fourth leg.
Well, that was a very eye-catching leg by Mervyn King.
Mervyn to throw first.
A break of throw, a 3 lead, and that setup was just glorious to watch. A 3-time quarter-finalist on the European Tour this year is Mervyn King. He's been seeded for every one of these Euro Tour events so far in 2018. That wasn't the case that last year. He had to come through qualifying for a few of them. In fact, he made the final of the European Open as a qualifier in Leverkusen last summer, or in the summer of 2017.
42.
Yeah, he's a multiple finalist on the European Tour. He's only ever won one of them. He beat Michael Smith in Sindelfingen at the European Darts Grand Prix a few years ago. Drove there on his motorbike. I'm not quite sure if
83.
he strapped the trophy to the back of the bike and made his way back to Norfolk.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoken a lot about Lewis, but King himself this year, at the end of June, he had that first title since, what, 2014, I think it was, with that 6-2 win over Wade at Players' Championship 15. A stunning average, 105 and a bit in his first Pro Tour final of the year. And that effectively rubber-stamped his place in the World Match Play as well. I think he might have been okay anyway, but...
No, he played really well in that final, Merv, and you know, against a guy in James Wade who'd been playing superbly all the way through the day.
43.
And he was the favourite going into that, James Wade. Although James Wade's record in finals is getting quite worrying, actually. He's obviously gone out tonight, so he won't make it a final
81.
here, but the number of times James Wade has made a final and then fallen at that last hurdle, it's alarming. He's won 1 out of his last 7. In fact, no, 1 out of his... He's lost his last 6, won the previous one, and lost the 6 before that as well. So it is
81.
a long old
Adrian
time.
161.
Great dart. Can't find the 51, and Mervyn King could
97.
extend his lead to 4-1 here.
115.
And Adrian Lewis, one of the form players over the last few months, but a guy who has not been playing much darts over the last few weeks.
90.08 went the 18s route.
43.
That's a silly. That
Adrian
was
64.
questionable, to say the least.
Silly play.
More orthodox from Lewis here, much more simple equation for him.
56.
Well, Mervyn King, by trying to hit
Mervyn
double 18 to leave
72.
double 18, has thrown it out the board and now may only get 1 dart at double. And it's 1 dart at tops.
52.
And it's not enough.
And he
Adrian
should have had at
8.
least 1 more. Odd decision from the veteran. And he's punished.
Shot on the 5th leg. Adrian Lewis. 6th leg is Adrian to throw first. Came on.
Just a little footnote to add to the chat Chris and I had earlier about Mensur Suljović's career earnings. He's now over the £1 million barrier as a result of
46.
today. Adrian Lewis, if he wins this tournament, £25,000, that will take him to within a whisker of £3 million for his career.
100.
Not bad.
And it's something that he could well achieve in Barnsley in midweek.
96.
It's a matter of time anyway, certainly.
Well, darts is pretty much all Adrian's ever known. You know, he started playing as a teenager and was taken under the wing of Phil the Power Taylor. Obviously, 1983 world champion Keith Deller's had his input over the years as well. Still his agent, manager, representative, whatever you want to call it.
140. 83.
Yeah, just pulled at that one a little bit.
Yeah, getting a bit frustrated, isn't he?
84.
It's not the free-flowing Adrian Lewis, which we've come used to seeing.
It is very, very warm down on stage, by the way.
125.
Very warm in the arena. The heat is
135.
trapped underneath this low ceiling. It's a warm day as well, and maybe Lewis is just feeling the heat a little bit.
It might have been difficult to find the bullseye, but he did find it. That's a great dart from Adrian Lewis there to leave himself tops. Mervyn King, 2 treble 20s, would have left double 8s. As it is, he'll leave himself tops.
96. Adrian
Both on tops.
40.
Who will blink first? Ooh, maybe it'll be Adrian Lewis.
20.
Just looks a bit jerky, that throw, Adrian Lewis. It's not quite as smooth as we've seen.
That, however, is very smooth from Mervyn King. It's a break back. And the 2-leg cushion is restored for the number 13 seed.
Oh, it's only one hold of throw we've had in this game. That was a 3rd leg. It went to Mervyn King, and that was the one where Adi missed a couple of darts. It could have been 6 legs, every single one of them a break and throw. But that's kind of the sort of stop-start nature of this game. Neither man is able to string together a set of consistently
140.
impressive legs.
Just another footnote as well about Mervyn King's European Championship
81.
ranking. He's been seeded for every one of these this year, but he has been beaten in his opening match on 4 occasions now. Paul Rowley did the damage in Hamburg, so no ranking money for the European Order of Merit, or well, no money on the ranking list, shall we say, as a result of those second round defeats.
Yeah, you do get the money, it's just it doesn't actually go onto your ranking if, as a seeded player, you lose your opening game.
So he's only picked up ranking money in 5 of the 9 Euro Tour events this year.
However, the flip side to that is if you are a seeded player and you win your opening game, you're straight into the last 16. That's £3,000 in your pocket. So, you know, 5 of those, you've got 15 grand, you're going to the European Championship.
Adrian Lewis, 126.
That's long way back here, Mervyn King.
Yeah. That's the double-edged sword of the system that's in place.
86.
Still not universally popular with all players, but
well, sometimes the players tend to change their opinion.
83.
As seeded players, they don't seem to like this rule where you don't get ranking money, but when they're not seeded players, they seem to see the sense in it.
I'm not going to start my soapboxing on this again.
32.
I thought Jackpot was considering busting his score there to come back and have a look at double top, but in the end he's decided to knock 2 off and leave himself double 4.
99. Adrian, you require 8.
Was it the right decision?
Yeah, the scoreboard's caught up now.
Game shot on the 7th flag.
Vindicated
Adrian
in
Lewis. A flag is Adrian to throw
that
first.
particular decision.
And another.
It could have easily gone the other way.
Another breaker throw as well, and we're seeing these guys both averaging in the high 80s. It's not high octane stuff, but it wouldn't surprise me if you looked at the averages on throw and the averages against throw, and there's probably about 10 points difference for the both of them.
92.
Because they're not only winning some of these legs with breaks of throw, they're winning them at absolute canter by a mile in some cases. Better on throw from Adrian Lewis. Much better.
Much better. Yeah, the crowd haven't really got too involved in this one so far.
43.
No, and he is very popular. He's got fans, so many fans all over the world, Adrian Lewis, and I think particularly the German fans have been desperate to see him back on the Euro Tour and performing well, and he's given the fans what they wanted this year. He's been very, very good when we've seen him, by and large.
Well, you just have to see before they make their way up to the top of the walk-on runway. Often the fans at the front just clamour for a selfie, quick selfie, or a autograph or whatever. And you know, there's a big surge to the front often when Adrian Lewis is waiting to go on.
Well, there's always a lot of Adrian Jackpot Lewis shirts 55. In the crowds here in Germany. There you go, there's one.
proof if it were needed. It's almost like the cameraman doubted you, Dan. Thought, right, I'm going to see if this is true.
180. Adrian requires 76.
4 maximums for Mervyn King. Pressure applied.
Yeah, big pressure. Double 4 again for Lewis. Took it out last time.
72.
Off target this time.
Mervyn, you require 46.
And Mervyn King, guess what? This could be another break of throw.
That's not what he wanted. That'll do. 1 dart at double 16.
14.
Yeah, that careless first dart. He's angry about that.
4.
Really angry about that. Should have had 2 darts at a double there.
Adrian is hitting fewer than 1 in 4 of his darts at double. That makes it harder.
Oh my G is the reaction there. You don't need to be an expert in lip reading to pick that one up. He's moving all over the oche here. And he's found a way through somehow. He's bent that one round like a Roberto Carlos free kick. It's a holder throw. Would you believe it? 4-4.
First time he's managed to do that in this game, Adrian Lewis. Nearly made a mess of it.
45.
But he was only given a chance by virtue of Mervyn King making a mess of his checkout of 46. Set it up brilliantly with his 4th maximum and then missed the big number. Don't want to miss the big number.
140.
Well, look at that, Mervyn King's first 9 average is 20 points behind that of Adrian Lewis. But it's the finishing where Mervyn has been a little more clinical. There you go, 44% compared to just 24% from Adrian Lewis.
And Adrian does have a significantly higher 3rd dart average as well. Seems to be just labouring with his first 2 darts, but then more often than not recovering slightly with his final dart just to dig himself out of a hole.
60.
Whereas Merv has done the exact opposite.
Well, this is an absolutely enormous opportunity for Adrian Lewis. He is 113 points clear on the King throw in this crucial 9th leg. And that's why he's just taken a little bit of extra time just to try and compose himself. It's not worked.
42.
Worked at all. But he has got a bit of breathing room. A maximum from Mervyn King would only get him down to 159. That's a bogey number. Merv has decided he wants to go and... Oh, is he changing his darts? He might be. He's done this before. Let's just have a look. He was on those sort of bamboo-shaped ones. He's twiddling those ones around his finger. Has he changed them? No, he hasn't. It's the same ones. Maybe he just changed the flight.
59.
Well, whatever he did, there was no instant impact. Lewis has got away with that sloppy previous visit.
Anguish.
The sun would be welcome.
60.
Just the 60 down to 124.
Well, we built this up as one of these standout ties, and to be honest, it's been... Oh, Mervyn stabbed himself in the finger now. None of this is going well. Oh, Merv, stab yourself again, man.
140. Adrian,
140 leaves at 140. Lewis now looking at 124. Now looking at treble 18. Misses it. Hits the single 1. Does not like that one bit. Rubbish, says Adrian Lewis.
Adrian Lewis was on 226 9 darts ago. He's only down to 84. He may only get a dart at the bullseye, and that's assuming that he doesn't miss any big numbers.
41.
Oh,
Mervyn has left himself 99. He'd been better off if that last dart had just gone out the board. 100 is a 2-dart checkout. 99 you need all 3 darts for. Adrian Lewis, 14 segments. Does get the treble. Double 11.
73. Mervyn, you require 99.
Not there yet. Well, if Mervyn King wins this leg, I'll be scratching my head for the next half hour wondering how.
Treble 16 for double. That's the Mervyn King route.
Oh,
67.
it is the Mervyn King
Adrian,
route. Do not try that at
11.
home, as the pitfalls are obvious. But Lewis back in the hunt here. Once again, it's double 4. And look what it means. That's the reaction. That's a big, big take for Adrian Lewis. It's a steal.
Come on.
Well,
he was in pole position for so long in the course of that leg. Mervyn King had a way back in, didn't accept it. Lewis hits back.
I mean, this has been
96.
scrappy. Look at that, a 21 dart break of throw for Adrian Lewis. Merv has just...
123.
Well, he's kind of just surrendered. 4-2 up.
$135.
Bit more like it. It is Daryl Gurney who awaits the winner of this one. Daryl Gurney averaged almost a ton earlier on, the Grand Prix champion. These two absolutely nowhere near those kind of numbers. It's just about getting through to the final day.
85.
Yeah, but it is fair to say this match hasn't delivered what we expected, and there is a bit of a lull, and well, bang on cue, Mervyn King just underlines that by hitting 2 treble ones. Not quite the number of the beast, but almost a beastly visit there from Mervyn King.
60.
Well, Mervyn started off this match, the first 4 legs or so, it was very, very good, and there was some great setup shots and everything, but it's got very, very scrappy. He could still come away with the victory. He's left himself 80. Adrian Lewis, one of the showmen of this sport, with a potential showpiece finish, treble 20 for tops. Just next door.
Well, that is indicative of what's happened before, in keeping with the
Mervyn King route.
Done it again, but he's straight.
Double top it is then.
Oh.
And Mervyn King,
somehow.
Well, look, the Mervyn King route, the downside if you go treble 16 and you only hit a single 16, you may only get a dart at bullseye. He's got lucky in that not only has he gone into the wrong segment, but he's fluked the treble 7, which means that he does get a dart at the outer ring. And he pins it first time, and it is the finishing that has separated or elevated Mervyn King to this position, because he is averaging a shade more than Lewis, 2 or 3 points more. It's only because his finishing has been all right, 45%, that's not bad. The scoring, despite the 4 180s, has just been very, very streaky at times.
Well, that leg was a case in point. He had a 1-2-3, a 1-3-4, then he had that 66 with the 2 treble ones.
83.
And then he had that unorthodox steal at the end with the treble 7, ultimately rescuing him. Bizarre.
135.
It's not over yet, it really isn't. It's just so difficult to predict what's going to happen. It's been scrappy and messy, and the lead has changed hands
42.
3 or 4 times in this one. There's been so many darts into the 5s and 1s, not miles away, but not what you expect. And you can see Jackpot, who one of his hallmarks over the last few months has been the spirit in which he's played the game. He looks like he's enjoying himself. I don't think he's enjoying this very much.
No, and well, it's got to the stage now, forget looking at averages and what have you. This is all about just getting over the line and getting involved tomorrow.
Well, he is going to get a chance, Adrian Lewis.
96.
Merv has got to a finish.
Adrian requires 77.
2 match darts. Oh, he's busted score!
Unbelievable. He may get another opportunity, but the way this match is going, I would not be surprised one bit if Mervyn King were to find this 157. He is furious with himself. Well, he won't find the 157. He might not even find 50 here.
85. Adrian requires 77.
Back to 77. Oh dear. 9 scored. 68. He's got to go 18 and bull. A ridiculous end to a ridiculous match. And Jackpot somehow gets over the line, busts 77 for the match, and then somehow takes it out on the bullseye. Merv doesn't quite know what's gone on. I don't quite know what's gone on. All we can say is that Adrian Lewis is in the final day on the Euro Tour once again this year, and he will take on the Grand Prix champion Daryl Gurney for a spot in the quarterfinals. We've got 2 more games for you to set up the 3rd round tomorrow afternoon. Terry Jenkins, the 9-time major finalist, takes on the Diamond Ian White, but before then it is Spain's #1 Cristo Reyes and the world #1 Michael van Gerwen duking it out for a spot in the last 16.
Enge Match gegen Mervyn King und zieht damit in das Achtelfinale ein. Also, Applaus für Mervyn King. Congratulations, Adrian. That was a close one.
Yeah, very close. Obviously, both of us didn't turn up to a potential. I felt a bit guilty because obviously the crowd had paid the money for tonight to see an excellent game, and both of us didn't produce the goods. So,
not consistent enough?
No, we were in and out. I mean, obviously my finishing let me down a hell of a lot tonight, which all year it's been very strong. And obviously when I shot the ball, I was more happy having shot at the ball than when I was a double at the end. So yeah.
Good to see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you.
Adrian.
Thank you.
Jackpot, Adrian Lewis.
Thanks again, everybody, for turning out. Thank you.
Bedankt sich nochmal bei euch.